Hey guys, sorry about that. My
Hello, everybody. It's the
live stream
coach.
cut
This
out.
is Madden 20 on EA
Shot is over.
Sports.
Sorry
Straight ahead,
about
we've
that.
got should be a good
Gonna
one
be the
between the New York Giants
New
and
York
the
Giants
Chicago
against the Chicago Bears and Soldier
With
Field
that,
in
let's get out to
Chicago.
venerable Soldier Field in
Hopefully
Chicago.
this doesn't
Standing by
happen to
with
me
the
again.
call, here are Brandon Godden and Charles Davis.
Okay, week
First
2, game
opened
2
way back
underway.
in 1924, but renovated in 2002. There's a look inside venerable Soldier Field in Chicago. Just a short time ago, this crowd loud enough to shake the foundations of this nearly century-old building. They are ready for football indeed in Chicago as their guys get set to do battle with the New York Giants. Brandon Gaudin and Charles Davis on hand. Kickoff just moments away. Charles, quickly, keys to the game.
For me, it's coaching. Who prepared his team the best going into this one to give them the confidence to believe that they would win the game? That's who's going to come out of this one on top.
Out is the kickoff unit as they run up and send this one away. This is taken at his 4. And not a bad return. Here he gets it out to the 25-yard line. So here are the Giants ready to start their initial drive of the game. At a glance at the man under center at 6'5", he always demands attention.
And what I enjoyed watching this week when we had a chance to watch them at practice, the easy camaraderie that he has with his offense.
A lot of respect.
A lot of respect, and frankly, I thought it spilled over to the defense. All the defensive guys were coming over and teasing and joking with him. You can tell they respect the heck out of him and really want to play well for him.
Go! 60 outlaw!
On the ground, this is Saquon Barkley. And he'll hope that this is not a sign of what's in store as he has to fight just to get back to the line of scrimmage. Calling no gain on the game's first play. And it's second down now. Officially nothing on that last run. They'll try again, 2nd and 10. I give to Barkley out of the gun. It'll be a gain of 7, and they get it back to a 3rd and 3.
Probably right on the edge of breaking into something really big. So defensive guys right now are talking about, okay, what can we do to slow him down before he truly gets started?
Third play of this opening drive as they're looking at a 3rd and 3. Jones now from the gun, he'll throw. And this is going to be incomplete. So the defense able to get off the field here on 3rd down.
It's one of the goals of the game. They've got to be effective on passing downs. It's one of the few things defenses chart. How did we do on 3rd down? That's a nice start for them in this one.
4th down, so on is the punter, Riley Dixon. Tariq Cohen deep for the Bears. This is brought in at the 21. A 46-yard punt, 8 yards on the return. And the offense will take over with a new set of downs. Trubisky brings the Bears up 1st and 10, just shy of the 30. The first carry for the shifty Tariq Cohen, and he'll get about 4 across the 30 to the 32. And Charles, now we get our first look at this offense.
And one guy you have to look in particular is Kyle Long, to play guard or tackle with a nice degree of nastiness.
They will run for the first time with David Montgomery. And he'll be limited to a short gain up to about the 34-yard line. Just a couple on the pickup there, and now it's 3rd down. And the defense for New York.
In a league where the vast majority of guys play hard on every snap, Marcus Golden stands out for me because I've seen this guy play with so much passion. He came out of college as a defensive end. They talked about making him an outside linebacker, but they figured out his strength, putting his hand on the ground, rushing the passer with a lot of force and a lot of will.
And 5 in the secondary now for the Giants on 3rd down. Out of the gun, Trubisky. This one in the hands of Burton. And he will be very close to a first down, but I see the closed fist of the referee, and that means 4th down.
He wasn't the primary target, but I think it was almost like a check down situation, wasn't it?
Yeah, hoping he can break some tackles, a big tight end, but he couldn't do it.
Yeah, get into that big frame and hope he can scatter some bodies, unable to get it done.
Now the Bears' 6th-round pick in 2014, Pat O'Donnell on the punt. And he couldn't get it to check up. That kicks all the way to the end zone for a touchback. The New York set to take the field. And on the first drive, 3 and out. And I know that these are professional athletes, but I would imagine sometimes you get the nerves at the beginning of a game still, don't you?
Those don't ever go away. And typically what I've heard from guys and what I remember from playing, if you don't have nerves at the start of a game, it's not going to be a great day for you. You're not really ready to play. So finding a way to harness those nerves and not let them affect you in a negative way, that's what all the guys are looking for.
Jones and the Giants now with a 1st and 10 at the 20. Throwing to start the drive. Jones looking sideline, incomplete. Golden Tate, his intended receiver. And now it's 2nd down. The starting 11 defensively for the Bears.
Leonard Floyd's athleticism can be scary good, and one advantage he has now in the NFL is that he's probably at one position and one position only. When he's at the University of Georgia, he played inside linebacker, played outside linebacker, he played defensive end, almost depended on down and distance. Now strictly an outside linebacker with one key responsibility: go get the quarterback.
After the incompletion, here's 2nd and 10 from the 20. Now Jones throwing again. That's caught by his tight end, Evan Ingram. And up to the 35 before they're able to knock him down. He'll get 15 and the Giants' 1st down.
A lot of tight ends just use their size and their strength, try to occupy some space and kind of body people away and catch the football. But not this guy. He's a refined route runner. Makes me wonder if he took some dance classes in his background with his footwork.
Ball up to the 35 now as they come up on 1st and 10. A quick throw. Here's Shepard. That throw good for 4. It's 2nd down.
Ready, break.
From the 39, Jones. It's hauled in by Shepard. And a 42-yard line here and brought down there. 4 yards on the completion, and it sets up a 3rd down.
Ready, 90, roll.
On third and short. They'll try and pick it up through the air. And Tate's got it. And he'll be taken down, but not before he works it past the 50. 10 yards, good for a giant first down. We've seen quite a bit of the short passing game here early on first quarter, haven't we?
We have, and I think it works a couple of ways for this team because, number one, you throw the short game until they stop it. And if they're not going to stop it, you keep throwing it. And occasionally you'll break a tackle and turn into a bigger game. Also, if they start to creep up, start to pressure receivers, now you go over the top, take it deep, and now you get some of those big shots downfield.
So into Bear territory now. This is 1st and 10 at the 47. Looking to throw. Jones. He's going to go for a big play downfield. In a heavy traffic, and it's intercepted. Picked up by Kyle Fuller. And he'll get this back to the 32-yard line. The disaster there. I mean, you saw it coming. The pressure gets knocked down, the interception.
Sometimes the best throw you make is the one you
don't make.
Exactly. Take care of the football. You'll also learn how to shrug your shoulders, take the proper slide steps to alleviate some of the pressure. But occasionally, like the one we just saw, sometimes just hold on to the football and take the hit.
Here's the Chicago offense coming back out onto the field. And they'll certainly be trying to do better than that first drive where they went 3 and out.
And sometimes the first drive is just simply to settle nerves. You know what it's like at the start of a game with the emotion, guys a little bit jumpy.
You do.
Oh, you understand the same way, just like us calling one, right? Making sure we ease into the game, let it come to us.
Well, you went 3 and out.
Have that opportunity.
No, you didn't go 3 and out. I went 3 and out on that first drive. I'll try to do better here. He brings the Bears up 1st and 10 at about the 32. To Montgomery to begin the drive. It's a yard on the first down carry, so it's 2nd and 9.
They tried a quick hitter inside, but that one was swallowed up because when they're hoping those big defensive linemen will take the bait and move laterally and open up a crease that they can run through. Didn't happen on that play.
Let's make these babies cry all the way back home.
They'll run on 2nd down with Cohen. And he gets this from the midfield before he's brought down. 16 yards is the pickup there, and first down for Chicago. And it should be the final play before the quarter ends. We're scoreless after 1. Back in Chicago, ready for the second quarter. It's the Bears in possession as they've got it with a 1st and 10. From midfield now, here's Trubisky. And that's going to be incomplete. Too tough to hold on to that one. It's 2nd down. So he can't hang on. And as I watched it unfold, I remembered an expression that I've heard, maybe from you, I don't know. But you're going to get hit anyways, might as well hold on to the ball.
Well, you know a coach said that, right?
Yeah.
Not an actual player. Not a chance at all. Way easier said than done.
After incomplete pass here now is 2nd and 10. On 2nd down, Montgomery. Well, they get 6 here after the incompletion, and it'll leave them with a 3rd and 4.
Despite the blitz, they're still able to pick up a nice solid game. The disadvantage of blitzing often alters the normal spacing and run fits, and leaves creases like they were able to exploit right there.
And on 3rd down, a nickel formation here defensively. From the gun, it's Trubisky. Gets this to a running back, Troy Cohen. And he's going to have the first down yardage to the 35. That gain of 9 minus the new set of downs.
As an unbiased observer, I think it would have been interesting to see what they would have done if they hadn't gotten the first down there. But since they did, I guess the point is moved.
And they're right there in that middle ground, field goal range, punt, go for it. But as you said, they picked it up. Ball up to the 35 now as they come up on 1st and 10. Throwing here, Trubisky. Gonna hook up here to Allen Robinson. And he's got this down almost to the 20 before he's dropped. First down for the Bears, a gain of 15.
Now that was pretty. They executed that curl route versus zone coverage, and that changes things a little bit because against man, it's often a tight curl, tight, sharply run route. Against zone, you're just looking for that open spot, that dead area, so you may curl a little bit wider just to get to that place.
And usually a tight window. He fired a bullet in there for the completion. First down, here's the run to Montgomery. They'll get it inside the red zone, but only for a couple down to the 19.
That's good play by the guys on the defensive side of the ball, heading to a gain of 2. That changes the playbook a little bit now for the guy calling plays. 2nd and 8. Now he's got to probably think about going to the air instead of maybe staying with the ground game.
Throwing on 2nd and 8. Trubisky. He rifles one that's intercepted. Picked off inside the 10. And a big turnover there as his guys will get the football back.
Brandon, this is what golfers do their best, to never count a score in their head before the ball goes in the cup. This looked like a slam dunk for points on this drive, didn't it? Instead, they throw an interception, and they're going to come away empty.
The New York set to take the field. And this is a unit that, to be frank, doesn't look like they've woken up yet. I mean, a punt and a turnover on the first 2 drives.
And I think the game's starting to take shape a little bit now. And I'm going to take it to the basketball world. When you're having trouble scoring or moving the ball in basketball, what do? Get it to their best player, right? Find a matchup, create it, exploit it, and try and move the football.
Jones and the Giants now with a 1st and 10 at their own 11. This is Barkley. And he'll be taken down at the 18. A solid run on 1st down. Gain of 7 leaves him with a 2nd and 3.
And there we saw one of the downsides of blitzing during a rundown, because sometimes you get out of your gaps. You don't fit the run quite as well because you're headed towards the ball carrier with abandon.
Throwing on 2nd and 3. Jones is hit. He lost the football. And then bring this one back. A fumble return for a Bears touchdown. So the big fella gets on the scoreboard with a return for a touchdown. Good thing he didn't have to go too far, though.
You know, the trainers were very happy about that. Imagine having to go get him in the end zone, escort him to the bench, and give him the oxygen. They were loving the fact that he got in without having to run very far.
Eddie Pinheiro down for the extra point. And he's got it to make it 7-0 in favor of the Bears. The stupid sky, always an exciting play in football, and we witnessed it there, grabbing it off the ground and then rumbling it into the end zone for 6. And you can bet they're bridging 2 hands on the ball here as the kick's away following that fumble return. This fielded at the 2. And he'll be brought down at the 23, make it the 24-yard line. The New York set to take the field. And that last possession, really a gut punch. You seemingly had it working. You were in the midst of a very strong drive, then suddenly the fumble, and you're watching the back of a defender's jersey as he brings it all the way in the other direction.
There's not much more I can add to that. I thought you summarized it perfectly, partner. You just got to regroup and start putting another drive together. That's all you can do.
Jones and the Giants now with a 1st and 10 at their own 24. Jones fakes the give to Barkley. And now this is intercepted. My goodness. Picked up by Buster Screen. And they bring this one back to the 29. Second interception for him now here in this first half. And you've got to think he's a rookie, Charles. How much does confidence start to become a factor?
I think that's a great question because that's what they're going to check on when he gets to the sidelines. The coach is going to check on it. His teammates going to check on it because when you haven't done it before, it's not something that's part of you. You got to see how you're going to react. Let's see how he bounces back.
Yeah, because 2 interceptions for him in college and a half. I mean, that just didn't happen. But now Chicago getting ready to go as they take the field. And they got themselves a 7-0 lead here, but that, you recall, was a defensive touchdown, so still nothing as of yet for this offense.
Well, they're happy to have the lead. We got to cut them a little bit of slack. It's still early enough, just a couple of drives so far, but if this one goes nowhere, those adjustments that we talk about, they shouldn't wait for halftime. They should go ahead and start working on them right now.
They'll run on 1st down. Cohen, and only able to muster a couple down to about the 27. A short gain of just over 2 yards as the first half clock dips inside of 3 minutes.
Well, he's looking for some running room, and there wasn't a whole lot of it there on that play. I think he was lucky to get a couple of yards out of it. So his defenders, they were rallying to the football pretty quickly.
On 2nd down now, it's Cohen. Only a gain of a couple there. That leaves them needing about 7 here on 3rd down.
Brandon, we talk all the time about those hybrid players, guys who can do more than one thing. And I think if you play a strong safety in the NFL today, you are a true hybrid. Part linebacker, part cover guy.
And coming out, sticking his nose in the mess there, making a nice play defensively. From the gun on 3rd down, it's Trubisky. He finds Robinson. And he gets it all the way down inside the 10 and mark him at the 5. 1:57 to go in this first half on EA Sports. Coming up at halftime in a little less than 2 minutes, we'll send you to Orlando where Jonathan Coachman is standing by. He'll have highlights and analysis of this first half. Escaping. He can't find anywhere to go with it, and he goes down. Dexter Lawrence able to get him for a loss of about 3.
On any 1st and goal, the real estate to work with for the offense is really cut down, and the defense knows it. So they often bring heat and pressure, which they did on this play. Got him down for a loss. Not a big one, but any loss of yardage in this position is tough for an offense.
Now from the 9, here's 2nd and goal. Now it's Trubisky to the goal line, but it's incomplete.
I'm going to need some help with this one. How did he miss it? Wide open in the end zone. He's not hurried. He's not hit. And somehow, incomplete?
Yeah.
What happened?
During film study, that's one where he's just going to shake his head, not be able to believe it.
6 points go by the wayside on that one.
On 3rd and goal, Trubisky. With the left side, and he's got a man. That's Cohen. And they'll be driven back here, losing yardage to the 9. The Giants going to go ahead and use the first of their timeouts as they'll head to the sideline and talk over what to do next. Now for the field goal try, here's Eddie Pinheiro from the left hand shot here. The kick by Pinheiro is good. And the lead moves to 10-zip. That drive took him inside. Good job defensively to hold him to 3.
Yeah, I like how you did that. Give a little tip of the cap to the stop troops there, because they give up a touchdown in that situation, right? Made him kick the field goal, and he had points went against them. That feels a whole lot better running off the field.
The kickoff unit is out on the field, and they will send this one away. Fielded about a yard deep. They'll bring it back to just about the 25. Call it the 24-yard line. Here comes the Bears defense now back out onto the field. And a big reason they have the lead right now, as we see on the screen, their 3 turnovers.
And how about the emotion now that the defensive team is generating for the entire team? Creating the turnovers, what they call takeaways, and turning those into points for their team. That's why they have the lead, and that's got to be exciting for those guys on the defensive side of the ball.
The Giants offense at the line, ready to begin their next drive. It was still more than a minute to go in the half. Time to try out a drive.
And I would think that they would have to. This is today's NFL. You got to push it whenever you get an opportunity. You can never have enough points with the high-powered offenses that you face. And analytics will tell you, try and score when given the opportunity. Thus far, it hasn't been a real fun half for them, but a play like that may get them off the schneid a little bit, get them loosened up and moving.
Kind of seems like they've been sleepwalking and still sitting on 0 points.
And it's not always making an adjustment. Sometimes it's just going back to what you know can work and finally getting it done.
Took just one play to move all the way to the 44 as they try again on first down. The first play of the drive there is incomplete. The intended target, Saquon Barkley, and that'll bring up second down.
This defense has been very disruptive early on as they force another one to go awry.
Seems to be the front and the back end. Pass rush, they've been able to get home, and they're taking the ball away in coverage as well.
I love how you put it together. The front and back working in sync. The way to play good defense.
On 2nd and 10. Jones. That one good for 20 on the catch and run.
His position, and he's listed as a tight end, but he certainly doesn't run like one. And that's what we're seeing more and more coming into the league. Those guys who can run, make plays after the catch, and gain that additional yardage.
And using that speed there to turn it into a pretty nice little game. Hey, this offense finding its legs now. Here's another 1st and 10. Jones operating from the gun. Nowhere to escape, and he goes down. Khalil Mack just would not be denied. That's a loss of 7. A rookie QB struggling, gets thrown down to the ground there. But, maybe this game, it's not over yet, but maybe this game can be a learning experience for him.
So many different things that he has to pick up on. When to go ahead and flush from the pocket and run. When to get rid of the football, not take the sack. When to just go ahead and go down early and make sure you don't fumble the football. So many things that he has to learn. This game starts the process.
The Giants going to burn their 3rd and final timeout as they stop it with 16 seconds to go in half number 1. Aldrich Rosas now to try the Giants field goal. From the left hash, it's a 36-yard. And the kick by Rosas is good. And they get themselves on the board here. It's 10-3. So 3 points here. They're still down, but they put somewhat of a dent into that lead going into the break.
Anything helps when you're trying to chip away at a lead, but they do know that they're going to need a little bit better effort in the second half.
After the field goal, here's Rosas to kick it away. This will be taken in at the 1. And he'll take it past the 25 and up to the 28-yard line. The Bears offense ready to go for their next drive. Time for a final kneel down or a safe, and then they can head to the locker room with a lead.
Yeah, or they can even run a screen. Something they feel somewhat safe that might actually pop and turn into a big play. That's what you usually run in this situation.
Or go 4 verticals because why not?
Because you're feeling it, right? You're just feeling it.
So we have reached halftime with a touchdown. That's the difference on the scoreboard. As we'll send you down to Orlando, we check in with Jonathan Coachman for our EA Sports Halftime Report. Coach. Okay, Coach, appreciate it. A 1-touchdown game here as we get set to resume play in the second half. Set to resume. Here we go in the second half. The Bears holding the lead and ready to receive the kick. This is fielded at the goal line. And he'll take this across the 25, a couple extra yards up to the 27-yard line. So here's the Bears offense now as they get set to start this third quarter. They have the lead now. They'll be looking for some separation here as we begin the third quarter.
I like the way you term that because now I think they go a little bit deeper into their playbook. They like what they did in the first half. That worked okay. But in order to get the separation that you just talked about, change things up a little bit. Change your tendencies. Try and hit them a little bit more with some things they didn't see in the first half.
See if they do just that. Trubisky brings the Bears up 1st and 10 at their own 27. Third quarter starting with a run from Montgomery. There to stop him on the defensive side, Lorenzo Carter.
I call that success. A nice inside run sets up a very manageable second down, a very solid gain on that play.
After the pickup of 5, here's 2nd and 5. Now it's Trubisky. He's got Burton here. And he slips up past the 45. Tackler. 14 yards in the Chicago first down.
There's so many tight ends nowadays, they have no problem at all putting him in the slot, letting him go to work, and that's a nice pitch and catch right there for a first down.
On first down, Trubisky got a man open. It's Wims. Just a yard on the catch there. It'll be 2nd and 9. They only got a yard out of that last completion, and that makes this 2nd and 9. Now Trubisky going to give this to Montgomery, and he is met in his tracks behind the line of scrimmage. The tally there, -2 yards, brings up 3rd down.
And that's what this defense is going to need to do more in the second half. Good pressure that time, forces some indecision in the backfield. He's going to wind up being taken down for a nice loss.
On 3rd down, Trubisky. And that will be incomplete. Well, they weren't scared to let it fly, but it falls to the ground and brings up fourth down.
But it's not been the best game for him, but he definitely tried to get by with a little help from his friend there and tried to create a big play.
Couldn't do it, fell incomplete, but you're right. Hasn't been a better game here in the second half, just trying to get going.
Big thing is trying to keep confidence up and continue to fire.
Here's Pat O'Donnell now, as he's on to punt for Chicago. And this one hits at the one, continues on into the end zone for a touchback. Here's the Giants offense now, getting set to start the third quarter. They're down in this game, a chance for the offense, though, to put something on the board, get some momentum here in half two.
Try and get things kick-started for them. And you know, in the half, they discussed how they were going to get that done. This is where scripting comes into play a lot of the time.
How many plays do you script coming out of the second?
Most of the time in the first half, you're scripting 12 to 16. I think in the second half, you're really scripting more like 8 to 10. Kind of a star or an opener, whatever terminology they use, just something to get you off to a quick start.
They'll try and get this run game going. This is Barkley. They'll get about 3 as he's taken down at the 23. You know, despite the scoreline, I think they've got to like where they are here. They're on the road and just one big play away from getting right back in this game.
I'm going to follow right along with you because the spot they're in now is a credit to their defense. They've kept them in it by making the plays that they've made, and that just means you're one big score away from being right back there.
Now, the question is, can this offense step up and make that play? Because that's been an issue for them in this game. Second down pass play there, but it's incomplete. We saw this a lot in the first half, and it continues. These receivers just not able to get much separation.
So that means they have to win the 50-50 balls. They've got to go up with the defender and find a way to start coming down with them.
And this time, contact and another incomplete pass. They head to the line facing a 3rd and 7 following the incompletion on second down. He's going to watch this thing, and he's going to be intercepted a 3rd time. Picked off by Kyle Fuller. Certainly not what he was hoping for, Charles. That's now 3 interceptions in this ball game.
But there's a lot of knowledge to be gleaned every time you throw an interception if you do things the right way. And hasn't there been a pretty darn good quarterback along the way who threw a lot of interceptions early, learned from them, became great later?
Who would that be?
That'd be one Peyton Manning. Threw 28 his rookie year. That's the NFL record. How things turn out for him?
I think okay. He's the guy in all the commercials now, right?
Yeah, I think he's doing okay.
From the 34 now, here's 1st and 10. After the interception, here's Trubisky. He'll buy some time running. He's going to take off with it. The improv on the scramble gets him 6, and it'll be 2nd down.
And that was not a bad scramble there on 1st down. He didn't force it, nor did he throw it away. He was able to take off, and now he made it a very manageable 2nd and short.
A play fake to Montgomery. Now Trubisky rolling to his right. He's going to take off with it. 8 yards that time. Able to take off, and the result is a 1st down.
Partner, he was going through his progressions. Not there, not there. After about the 3rd one, he decided he better pull it down and run for it. And he slides down and avoids the hit for good measure.
Here we go, let's bring it. Let's bring it.
On 1st down, it's Montgomery. And he'll be brought down right at midfield after a gain of only a couple. They struggled to get him rolling on the ground in the first half, and that's sort of continuing here in the 3rd quarter.
Yeah, but I don't think it's time to abandon the running game. I would say keep feeding the horse, and I believe it'll eventually reward them, especially as we get deeper in the game.
From the midfield strike, they'll look to throw. It's his target, it's Taylor Gabriel. And they're going to have another 1st down as the tackle's made at the Giants' 29-yard line.
Some think the teams really won't throw his hand down unless the receiver has a lot of stature to him. But sometimes the little guys, they get lost in there. People can't really locate them, and they run that quick cut on the slant, and oftentimes they can turn into big plays.
Trubisky now off the bootleg. It is Gabriel on the catch. And taking it to the 15-yard line before he's brought down. 14 yards in a Chicago first down. Trubisky now 5 straight completions here in this second half. 1st and 10. From the red zone now, here's Trubisky on first down. This one out left to the tight end, Burton. And here he'll get it down to the 7. Give him 9 there on the first down completion. That last catch short of the marker by just a yard leaves him with a very manageable 2nd and 1. And that is going to do it for this third quarter of action. And that'll do it for the end of the second quarter. This is the NFL, and it's on EA Sports. Looking to throw again on 2nd down. Trubisky, and it's caught. And the snap will come inside the 5 at the 4. Trubisky finding the former Eagle Burton for the Chicago first.
I know exactly what's going to be said about that play from the defensive perspective.
What's that?
That's why I tell all you guys we need more than one tackler to the ball. He broke the first tackle. Luckily enough, there were more people there to get him down.
They'll run with Montgomery. And he's into the end zone. Touchdown, Bears. Taking it in from 4 yards out as the Bears push further out in front. And nothing special there. They showed they were going to run the football. They ran it. They got it in.
Like old-time football, right? Hey, this is exactly what we're going to do. Straight ahead power, and they got it done.
Ben Euro now to add the extra point. It's up and good, and that makes it 17-3. So that drive takes him down the field in 8 plays. And it was David Montgomery's touchdown run that polished it all off. The kickoff team on the field now as they will send this one away. This is taken at the 3. And a good return as he'll be stopped just shy of the 30-yard line. The Giants offense now gets ready to head back onto the field. And following the interception, just any interception, are you a little bit more cautious when you start that next drive, or no, you just throw that out the window?
I think you are. I don't think that there's any way you can run back out there and go, totally didn't affect me. Let's just go ahead and be loose with the football again. You're going to take care of it, but you have to be careful about being too cautious because now you can't run any offense at all.
Still want to attack. We'll see how they attack him here. Jones and the Giants now with a 1st and 10, just shy of the 30. Trying to shake up the interception from the last drive. He'll look to throw. And down he goes. A covered sack. Took too long to get rid of it. Khalil Mack picks up his second sack of the afternoon. Young quarterback, gotta learn. Need to get rid of the football.
Because when you don't get rid of the ball, they accumulate more sacks. But you're exactly right. Internal clock has to go off. Either get rid of it or start to take off and go.
And they need to work to at least get some of this yardage back after the sack. 2nd and 19. Now Jones. Looking for Shepard deep. And that'll be incomplete. Trying to dial up the long way out there, but it'll be 3rd down. I know he wants to get his team back in the game, but a 50-50 ball right there that maybe was a little questionable.
Yeah, he's pretty lucky to get that one back. I think that sometimes these quarterbacks play with a lot of confidence that borders on arrogance, and that can put your team in some Dutch.
Yeah, especially maybe want to look at some safer routes after the interception he had that ended their last drive. Well, thanks the tackler, and now some space. A big chunk on the ground there, 27 yards.
Oh, he's got the full package. He can spin, he can juke, he can make you miss, he can drop his shoulder on you. Some of that elusiveness we saw at Penn State has definitely translated to the NFL game. Saquon Barkley, hit the proper buttons and turn him loose.
Ready! 60 all. Slap.
They keep it with Barkley on 1st down. And after the good game last play, this time they say, as he's going to be stopped behind the line of scrimmage.
Well, that's pretty symptomatic about how things have gone here. That took him to just shut down right from the start.
They're not going to give him a lot of confidence to help turn things around.
Come on, set. 94. You see me?
On the draw, this is Barkley. And he's got it across midfield and into Bear territory.
On a 2nd and long, it's really nice to see an offense that has enough confidence to run the football in that situation. I think that goes back to their practice and game planning. They've seen things that they've seen on tape and in previous games that led them to believe that even in a long-distance situation, they can still run the football and gain enough yardage to put themselves in a good spot on 3rd down.
It's caught. Shepard. And he's going to have another 1st down as the tackle's made here at the Bears 36. Now, correct me if I'm wrong. You're down 2 scores. I don't think you need to rush just yet, but you can't take your time either.
Yeah, even if you don't want to commit to full 2-minute offense, you have to up the tempo, up the urgency. Maybe you're starting to call 2 plays in a huddle each time you snap the ball.
Jones now just 8 of 16 thus far, 50%, but it's 1st and 10. Here's Jones from the gun. He'll throw. Finds his tight end Ingram. And he gets it down a yard or 2 shy of the 30 before he's out of bounds. 5 yards on the catch there, brings up 2nd down.
Well, they're unable to convert that into much, but it's never a bad idea to try to get the ball into a tight end of his caliber's hands and see what kind of disruption he can cause.
2nd and 5 after the 5-yard completion on 1st down. They go back to the ground now with Barkley. Absolutely nobody full there. He's going nowhere fast as he's stopped behind a line of scrimmage.
Anytime you call an inside running play, you just know there should be a lot of congestion there. You're counting on your offensive line to take control of the line of scrimmage. That didn't happen in this case, and that play got bottled up.
The Giants on 3rd down. They've converted 3 out of 5 thus far. This is 3rd and 8. From the gun, Jones. And that is incomplete.
Anytime a ball's thrown in the middle of the field, it's popped up in the air, I expect someone to catch it, no matter whether it's offense or defense, because there's usually a great amount of bodies in that part of the field. In this case, no one came up with it.
All right, they're going to try and keep hope alive here on fourth down. They're going for it. Jones now throwing on fourth down. Nowhere to escape, and he goes down. Akeem Hicks at 6'5", 332, finds his way home for the sack. So now with a little over 2 minutes to play, the road back gets very difficult.
Difficult, but still not impossible if they go ahead and play this thing out. Now the defense has to come up big. They've got to go for the strip of the football on each and every snap to try and give themselves a chance.
Here's the Chicago offense coming back out onto the field. And for them, a touchdown their last go-around. Obviously, they'll be hoping to do that again.
And when you start plotting for this drive, when you start thinking to yourself, okay, what are we going to do? You don't go away from what you did before because that worked. Wrinkles and counter, make some adjustments.
Good starting field position for them here as they come up 1st and 10 at their own 43. On the ground with a tight end. And I think this defense knew what was coming as he is smothered behind the line. That's going to line up a loss of a full 3 yards on 1st down.
I like the idea to mix it up from time to time because, let's face it, you can't be predictable. But the execution was a little lacking on this one, right? They might want to go back to the drawing board with that call.
A 3-yard loss to start the drive. They'll look to make that up and then some on 2nd and 13. 2 minutes left to play in this football game here on EA Sports. So the Bears for the football here as we welcome you back. And no doubt what they're looking to do is just salt away the final couple of minutes and escape with a win. Sliding out of the pocket. And an alley to run. And he'll get it out to midfield. Let's spot it right in midfield at the 50. And now with 1:52 to go, we get another pause of the action. A timeout here defensively. On 3rd and short, going with their tight end. And he won't be close to a 1st down as he runs into a wall right around the line of scrimmage. Here's Pat O'Donnell now as he's hard to punt for Chicago. And he gets it away, a directional kick going toward the sideline. And no return possible here as they angle this one out of bounds. And for an offense that is struggling, this is not where you want to start from. Great punt.
Fantastic punt. And for all those who wonder, what do punters do during the course of practice each and every day? The best ones do what we just saw there. Work on positioning the football and helping their team.
Now Jones on 1st down. And this is intercepted. And that should do it. Picked off by Kyle Fuller. And they are going to set up shop at the 32-yard line. Well, you just kind of feel for him right now. 4 interceptions, and you can almost see through his face mask. There's a lot going on in between the ears.
There certainly is, and probably way too much, because now he's probably doubting himself a little bit, wondering what adjustments he has to make. But here's what he needs to do. Get through this game. Go to the press conference, meet it head on, and show your teammates you're ready to shoulder what happened today, and you'll be ready for the next game.
And if he can do that as a rookie, that's a great sign of maturity. From the 32 now, here's 1st and 10.
Coming in. Yep.
They run. Montgomery. Now that play is blown up, losing yardage back at the 35. The Giants going to burn their 3rd and final timeout as they'll talk things over prior to this upcoming 2nd down play. So now they have to contend with 2nd and 13 after the 1st down run goes backwards. Again, they'll go ground with Montgomery. And he's going to have to pack the football and take his lumps here at this stage of the game as they stop him behind the line. It'll be a loss of 1, and it's going to be 3rd down and a ways to go here, 3rd and 14.
He continues to struggle to find a crease to break off a big one and might need to just put that aside and just try and ram his way forward and get what he can.
So time to start going in the other direction as they come up now 3rd and long. On 3rd down, a run with Cohen. And they're going to get him down well short of the first as he can only get this to the 30. It's a 7-yard run, but it does bring up 4th down.
Okay, he didn't break that one all the way, but you got to know that he feels like he's right on the verge, and that's probably exactly what he's telling them in the huddle right now.
So out comes a field goal team now for the 2nd time here today. This to make it a 3-score game. And this one is right down the middle. And they'll push the lead up to 7. And they got the interception, but very little movement after, and that forces them to settle for 3. And it does feel like settling when that happens, doesn't it?
It certainly does, but we got to give a lot of credit where it's due, and that's to the defense because they ran onto the field. This is what we call sudden change, right? Interception, you got to go put out the fire, and they did, holding them to a field goal.
Set now to kick this one away, and off it goes. This one fielded at the 5. And a nice return sets him up pretty good here at the 30-yard line. The Giants offense at the line, ready to begin their next drive. They're down big here late. I don't know. Just one last drive here for Pride.
Some people like to do that. Some people play for a guy once we were down huge. It's almost a coach when you want to call. You just wave the hand like, who cares? And to do something some other time. But some teams like to do something at the end to feel a little bit better as they continue to move forward.
Yeah, probably just want to put this one behind them. So this one in the win column for the Chicago Bears. And it was their defense that really made the statement after the break. They pitched the second half shutout.
Yeah, think about the team that just got vanquished. They did score in the second quarter. Do you think they thought at all that that would be their last points of the game?
No, but what a second hefty adjustment. Whatever they did in the locker room, it certainly worked.
It certainly did, and you're exactly right. Whether it was an adjustment, whether it was just more focus on what they planned to do going in, whether they just played better, whatever it was, it all came together in the second half, and no points were allowed. That's a great way to close them out.
So that'll do it for us. For Charles Davis and all our crew, I'm Brandon Gaudin. You've been watching the NFL on EA Sports. The Bears get the win at home as we say so long from Soldier Field.
There's the win is 20-3. Got in the stream. I have one more thing to do. I will, but I don't know if I'm going to do. But I'll see you. If I don't see you, have a great day and have a good night.